Yes, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Here we go. Ready? Let's get it.
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
He was a giant, and he was a cowboy. Now these two former rivals have joined forces to bring you the most insightful, perceptive, and controversial sports talk podcast in America. Former Dallas Cowboys defensive end Jim Jeffcoat locks horns with former New York Giants wide receiver Byron Williams. And now, here's Byron Williams and Jim Jeffcoat.
Good evening, Byron.
What's going on, Jim?
How was your rainy Wednesday?
It's always heavy. In the middle of the week, it's hump day, but you know what? Got a good back.
Yeah.
But you know, I went down and played the Super Bowl of golf this week down in San Antonio.
Oh, you did at Austin?
No, it was in San Antonio.
Oh, San Antonio. I saw Ed. Ed
was down there. Ed and that was.
You didn't win it.
Who?
You didn't win it. You. Third place.
I got third place. Third place. We shot 8 under.
You did?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess my drive down there.
Reality stuck you.
I wasn't my old self, you know.
Oh my goodness.
But you know what? It was a great time. They had about 30 or 40 NFL guys down there, and I had a chance to see some old guys. Mm-hmm. Henry Ellett and Gary Baxter and some guys, you know.
Oh, that sounds good. Good. A lot of stuff going on. Let's talk about the NBA right now.
Okay.
We got the Lakers and the
Memphis
Grizzlies on tonight. The Grizzlies are up right now. We got right now also New York Knicks and Cleveland are playing. And last time I looked, Cleveland was up. New York was up.
New York was up.
And both of them, New York can close it out tonight, and Cleveland can close it out. Not Cleveland, I'm sorry. New York Knicks can close it out, and L.A. can close out the Lakers. But the Lakers are down right now. They don't have the score up. But
you know, one of the things I'm seeing in this basketball playoff is the guys who've been this 8th and 9th player, you know, the second teamers having to step up because of injuries. You know?
That's true. And that's what happened with the Clippers.
Yeah.
They didn't have anybody stepped up. Kyrie.
Kawhi. And Paul George.
Yeah, Paul George was out. Kawhi was out with a torn meniscus. And I got to give Russell Westbrook credit. He did step up.
He did. And what's good about Russell Westbrook is he made the players around him play so much better. Because he real fiery, and he believe in moving that ball and forcing that ball and making sure that, you know, they don't get set for defense. Yeah.
The Lakers are losing 30-24 to Memphis.
Okay.
But now it's 32-24. But you're right. They didn't have a lot of help for around them. And Booker and Kevin Durant were too much for him.
Yeah, exactly. And talking about the Lakers with LeBron James, man, he really wanted that last game.
Yeah. Now, he did. He really did want it. He just wanted to prove to Dylan Brooks, which is dumb. You're playing one of the best players that ever played the game, and you're going to incite him. It's like, that wasn't very smart.
It's just like put gas on the fire.
Exactly. I thought the guy on the announcer said it the best. You know, he said he poked the bear, but he said what he really did was put honey on himself because the bear coming to get him. Yeah.
This thing, you know, the bird just woke up, and you know you don't want to do that. You don't want to wake the bird up after you just got through hibernating.
No,
you know?
Gonna call him old, and said he'd rather played him in Miami or Cleveland. I mean, you're playing one of the best players that ever played the game, and some might argue that he is the best, but you know, there's a lot of great players that played in the
A
NBA.
lot of great players, and talent is just a hair away. It's a thin line, you know.
Yeah, there really is. Great game last night with Boston and in Atlanta. I thought Atlanta was gonna blow them out. Boston was gonna blow them out, and the series was over.
Yeah,
but Atlanta had other plans.
Atlanta played well.
Trae Young.
You got to give it to Trae Young, man. Trae Young, man, he had 30-something points last night.
Yeah, 38.
Yeah, 38, and he just, he go all out. That's what I like. He just play all out.
Yeah, but he had 14 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
and that was pretty impressive. But those 2 threes he hit from almost mid-court. Yeah. So
he can ball. He can ball out.
Yeah. So it's been some exciting, and then obviously the Kings and the Warriors.
They played tonight. Yeah.
DeAndre Fox has a injured index finger.
Right.
He broke his finger, so I don't know how effective he's going to be with a.
But what I love about Sacramento Kings, they play good team basketball.
Yeah, they do, but it's going to be hard without him.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
League Monk could take up that much because Fox is really good.
I think the chemistry that they bring with those players has just been unprecedented. I mean, for us, the way they play, and but they need all those guys though.
Yeah, Mike Brown was coach of the year, and he's got him, and he kind of knows the Golden State Warriors and some of those things. But Steph Curry did some things in that last game that was unbelievable. They give him just a little bit of space. He was hitting some of those.
And he is like phenomenal, man. He can, man. He just bring and turn it on and shoot. I mean, he just come off a pick, a screen, and just shoot. And man, he's unstoppable.
Yeah, well, the thing you always realize when you see somebody like Steph Curry, the first thing that goes in basketball are your legs.
Yeah.
And he's 35 years old, and most guys can't shoot like that at 35 because their legs are gone. And this guy is making those 3-point shots from everywhere.
Everywhere. Just think, man, 90 games. They close to 90 games for the season.
Yeah. And this dude is making these kind of shots. It's like, oh my goodness. He didn't really shoot that, did he?
I know.
That shows you what a great athlete is.
It seemed like he ain't got to look at the basket. He just released that thing towards the basket.
That is true, too.
Did you see that? You said, oh, man, I saw
it, but you didn't get any right there. You just went.
Got to get the elbow up.
You didn't get it. You got to get that elbow up.
But wait, when Steph do it, it's so perfect, though, man.
It is. And it's going in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm enjoying this basketball. I'm enjoying it. And then the next series is going to be good because Sacramento would play the winner of Memphis or Sacramento, whoever it is, Golden State would play the winner of Memphis, LA Lakers. And that series is not over. They're going to probably have to go back to LA. And
that's what I like about playoff, even in football, and this is good example in basketball, as well as Major League Baseball, and then hockey as well. Yeah. It's just a whole different series of play.
Oh, yeah. Now they get serious about it. But the thing is too, this is going to be a good series too, is the series between Phoenix and Denver. I don't care what anybody says. I love Djokovic. I love his style of play. It doesn't look pretty, but is it effective? And that's why he's been the MVP. You can say what you want.
The results speak for itself. For us, the season that he had, the way he played, he gave it his all, and it's been the most consistent player throughout the year.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. It's just the problem with playing Suns with Durant on him is he's hard to match up with because if you put a small guy on him, he's going to shoot over him. You put a big guy, he's going to out-athletic him.
Right.
Durant is a matchup, and Booker he makes some play. He's been
Booker,
shooting.
Man, he had a night last night like no other. He was on fire last night.
Yeah, and Chris Paul does just enough. So Phoenix is going to be a tough out, and Denver is with Murray healthy. Denver is not a pushover, so
they're not a pushover, but I'm going to get an edge to Phoenix because that's what Booker was saying. They had to find the right chemistry when they added Durant, and I think now they kind of seem like they're getting that together, that chemistry, and that's why now they playing good basketball.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to beat Phoenix though.
Yeah, it is, and I'm like you said, this is going to be good to see these playoffs because I'm getting excited about them. Memphis is winning 40-27. They're starting to, and I figured this would happen when they went back to Memphis.
Yeah.
And then we'll get it. Dylan Brooks will say something stupid, and it'll be over with.
It'll be over. Yeah, exactly right.
It'll be over with. But on to the NFL. The draft is tomorrow.
You know, I got my little draft jersey out. It reminded me that. So I don't know how many years ago. It was years ago. Draft day. You know, I got drafted by the Green Bay Packers. I got my little number 89 jersey out, but I got drafted. But
oh man,
you know, it really reminded me of a little boy dreams come true. You know, it's just like you growing up in New Jersey and getting that call and know that after 4 years of playing college football, you know, going to the next level is a little boy dream.
I'm kind of interested. The Cowboys called me a week before and told me they were going to draft me. And Gil Brandt had called
that got to be a good feeling right there. A week before.
He called me and told me that he had picked me in the mock draft. And he said if I'm there in the draft that they were going to draft me. And
what number would you pick?
23rd pick.
23rd pick. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So, you know, looking back on that, I'll say the Dallas Cowboys got a steal.
They could have had Darryl Green or Dan Marino.
Yeah, that's right. Darryl Green was like the 20. He was 24.
He was the last pick.
Last pick. He was 28. He was the last pick. And Dan Marino was 27.
Yeah. So, but they still did get a sale.
They got a steal.
But
you know, any man that's walking the earth that got over 100 sacks, that you would call that a steal.
Yeah. But here's the funny thing. I don't know if you kept up with the news. In Reddit, they had an interview with the quarterback from Kentucky, Will Levin.
Yeah, Will.
And he said that he guaranteed them that he'd be the first pick. And they said somebody from his family had said that the Carolina called them and told him that they were going to pick him in as the number one pick. So this is crazy. Well, no, wait, listen. Everybody's saying Bryce Young is probably the consensus number one pick. So the gambling sites moved Will Levin was like 200-1 to be
first pick. Yeah.
He went up to 4-1.
What?
Yeah. And the Carolina Panthers came out with a statement today and said that's not true. We haven't told anybody going to be the number one.
Well, I know the Carolina Panthers said it's unanimous of who they decide who's going to be their first pick.
Yeah.
It's unanimous with everybody that's in the organization.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then they're saying Bryce Young.
Yeah, I would think. But here's the thing, and you might disagree with me. I do not see a surefire guarantee to be a great player in this draft right now. And that's just my opinion on it. I think you got some good players, but I don't see the quarterbacks are so
out of the quarterback, I'll tell you, I like two quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. I know you like
CJ and Anthony Richardson. Those are the two quarterbacks I like.
I started looking back and researching a little bit,
mm-hmm.
Anthony Richardson is a unique talent, and
I don't think he's really ready to play right now.
Yeah, but
I'm thinking about 2 to 3 years from now.
Yeah,
he might be one of the hidden jewels that the team.
I disagree with you. I think you were looking at the athleticism.
No, I'm looking within the 5-year time frame. I think it's a 5-year time frame that players got to get in the system, get the confidence up, learn everything there is to learn about the timing, the speed, all that necessary thing that you need to equip yourself and be a professional. I think being a professional and knowing how to handle, responsibilities and things like that, I think that's what keep guys in it. And that's why I say, if you can talk to an older football player or somebody that's into that organization, those are the things that you need to be a complete professional football player.
But who would you compare him to, Anthony Richardson?
Who would I compare him to? I would compare him to a Warren Moon early on, and I would compare his style of play to maybe like a Michael Vick or somebody like that.
See, but here's the problem you have with that comparison. I'm glad you said that. Warren Moon had won, how many? 5 Grey Cups before he came to the NFL in Canada, and he was a tremendous passer, very accurate. He wasn't a great runner, though. I wouldn't consider Warren Moon as a great athlete. He was pretty stationary. And that's the thing. I think this guy has talent, but his accuracy is going to be an issue. If you remember, Tennessee took the quarterback from Liberty last year, and everybody thought he was going to be really good, and he struggled. He had a really unfortunate. I think you got to be careful with this. I do not think, and I don't think even Bryce Young, I like Bryce Young, but I don't think there's a quarterback in here that is going to be, they're not like the quarterbacks. I think this draft is not very good because there's issues with everybody.
Well, how many quarterbacks did anything from last year? Only one quarterback from last year draft.
Yeah.
And that's in Pittsburgh.
Pickett.
But my point is, I just think there's still 5 good potential quarterbacks in this draft. I mean, with no doubt, maybe more than that.
I don't think there's any great quarterbacks in this.
You
draft.
don't think?
I think they're guys, and you're going to pay a guy.
Well, I think this group gonna have to be the group that really gonna have to set up the next generation of players for the NFL in the next 5 years. So I think we're a good group of guys.
They're okay, but there's not anybody if Caleb Williams could have came out, he would have been better than all of them. And I'm not a big Caleb Williams fan, but he would have been better than them. And that's the problem. There is no surefire guy in that position. The quarterback.
Well, Hinton Hooker gonna be okay. I think. I just think he had his knee. He had to get that knee redone. But I think it's 5 good quarterbacks.
Yeah, but I think they're okay, but they're not greatness.
Okay.
I don't think there's a surefire can't miss guy.
So they was talking about CJ Stroud. They were saying that the CS5 test that he took.
S2.
Is it S2? Is it S2 S2? It was the test that he took. Oh, the S2 test results.
Yeah,
the S2 test results. One didn't score that high on it.
Yeah.
And I just think some people know how to take tests, some people don't. So I don't think you put that, you might put that in the equation, but it's not the results that gonna really predict what the players gonna really do. But
the test does, it says how you process information.
Right.
And how quick you can process it.
Right.
And I agree with you. There's been great quarterbacks that probably haven't done well on those tests. But they were saying that Bryce Young processed information real well. Yes, he did.
And he, even on his, when you go back and look at the tapes and some of his decision making on the football field, he's done real well.
Yeah, and there was somebody. The quarterback from Fresno State was second.
Yeah.
And things. I looked at that too, but it's how you process information and how quick you can process it.
Exactly. Because when that heat coming in on you like that,
And
it take like Daniel Jones, for example. I think this year he got it right. I just think it takes sometimes it takes 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 5 years.
Yeah. And that's the thing is with quarterbacks, you have to be able to process. And even though we were talking about quarterbacks, the other positions, the best player in the draft is probably the Jalen Carter, but he has issues.
Yeah.
And he should be a 1 or 2. I mean, with that size and that athleticism. But first of all, he got in that car accident and it ran away.
Yeah.
Then he he didn't work out at the combine.
Right.
And then he came to his pro day 9 pounds over.
Yeah, he was overweight.
You have to be with an established group that can keep him on the straight and narrow. In that room, he can't go into a young D-line room. He has to go to an older D-line room.
Yeah, he needs some veterans. He needs some good veterans around him.
He needs, to keep him direction.
Yeah.
And he got to have the right kind of veteran.
Well, he going to probably be the second defensive player taken in the draft?
Yeah, and now they're saying Will Anderson. They don't know if he's at his maximum. They think the kid from Texas Tech might have more upside.
Tyrese.
Tyree.
Yeah, Tyree. Yeah.
So,
Tyree. They saying that he's still kind of young and immature. The kid from Tyree Wilson.
Yeah,
Tech. Yeah. But overall, it's exciting to hear him critique these players. And then the good thing is, get them, put them to the side, go to their pro day, they've been to the combine, and then process the information.
Yeah, and then because it's funny because positions that are being devalued now they're saying Bijan Robinson won't get out of the top 10, which is right. But then there's that tight end Michael Myers and the tight end Washington from Georgia. These guys.
Well, Dalton Kincaid is the best tight end
from Utah.
Yeah, from Utah. Yeah. I think he probably be in the top 15 anyway.
They say the first one who's going to be taken is probably Myers.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's good tight ends, but nobody's talking about them. They said that your guy.
This is one of the best tight end classes. Yeah.
Your guy Kyler Murray wants the offensive lineman Paris. I can't remember his last name.
Paris Johnson. Paris Johnson from Ohio State.
Ohio State. That's who Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's been asking for an offensive lineman the last couple of years, and he never got him. So
yeah. So. Which one's ready for the NFL?
He said no. He said none of them were ready for the NFL. I agree with him. Well,
somebody gonna get tested just like Zach Wilson did with the Jets. I mean,
and he's gonna get exposed. He's gonna get exposed. I'm just telling you.
It's just like Kyler Murray. He probably wasn't ready either. I mean, it's a lot of guys that they had to put in position. Are they ready?
I agree with you.
I know who was ready. Mm-hmm. Purdy was ready last year when he got started playing for San Francisco for $1. He was ready.
Yeah, but he was, I think it was the personnel around him. You had Christian McCaffrey, you had Debo, you had some really good ones. You got a great tight end.
But Christian McCaffrey came in the middle of the season, though.
Yeah, but you also had a great tight end in Kelsey.
Yeah.
They had some.
But you know what?
And a great defense.
This year at the NFLPA leadership, I sit with the 49ers reps. They are the most positive group of guys that you want to be around. So I can see the reflection in the locker room because the leadership in the union side of things is spectacular.
Yeah.
And you can see so the organization from top to bottom, they can definitely be one of the top three teams that probably going to be predicted to go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be interesting because of who's going to be the starting quarterback.
They signed Sam's.
Sam, so that's going to be interesting on who the starting quarterback's going to be.
But you know what? It doesn't matter who's going to be the starting quarterback. It's the system that you're in.
Yeah. Then the Texans are going to run a similar system.
Yeah.
And speaking about systems, it finally happened.
What?
Rodgers finally got there. He got to the Jets.
He's going to be number 8. That's a good number.
Yeah.
He's going to be number 8. That's a bad number. What I like about Aaron Rodgers, he said all the right things today.
He did say the right things. And
the main thing, you know what I saw that I heard? He said that the Super Bowl 3, that the Super Bowl 3 trophy been there for a long time.
And it's getting lonely. That's what
it's lonely. It's lonely being there. So he getting ready to dust off and put some new shine in the trophy case.
And he also said that it's getting lonely, and he wanted to go to a team that he had an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. He did say that.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a difficult division. First of all, they play the NFC East.
That's a tough division. Every year that NFC East, they got the 6th hardest schedule in the NFL this year. Yeah. The Jets, the 6th hardest schedule.
Yeah, and they play that, and then there's some really good teams in there. Obviously, Philadelphia went to the Super Bowl, the Cowboys, the Giants, and then the Washington is going to be better.
Washington's going to be better.
So
I tell you what, if Washington get Anthony Richardson, they're going to be tough. I'm telling you, it's going to be tough. I'm just going up. But if they get a quarterback that can run and throw,
that
NFC East is already tough.
Yeah, it is. It is. Here's the thing that's going to blow your mind.
What?
Dak Prescott.
He was out the other night doing a charity deal with Troy Aikman, and I think he wearing a green suit. Yes. And he didn't like he was in football shape.
Oh my goodness! But he is the longest tenured quarterback on the same team in the NFL right now.
What do that mean? Jim, tell me, what do that mean? I'm trying to figure out.
I'm just telling you the truth.
What they got to do with playing a game of football?
He's with the same team. He's the longest.
How many years?
7 years. I'm just telling you. Don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger.
So, do that mean that I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win the NFC East?
You know you're a guy. The Cowboys going to win the NFC East. I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl. They'll win the East.
Man, I'm tell you what. This is what's going to happen this year. Jerry Jones gonna be mad. He gonna fit to make some trades. He gonna be mad because the Giants gonna win the NFC East.
The Giants will not win the NFC East. And you know what? Everybody's talking about the Cowboys with Bijan Robinson and all these guys. It wouldn't surprise me.
Bijan Robinson ain't coming to the Cowboys. You know that.
Yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Cowboys trade out of the first round because of value. If they can get 2 second-rounders, they'll try to get those second-rounders. And somebody wants a player, they'll trade down. That makes more sense.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Looking at the whole Cowboy roster, what position do they need most?
They need a defensive lineman and a tight end.
Okay.
That's in my opinion.
Okay. The Giants need a wide receiver and a defensive back.
Mm-hmm.
So they need those that area right there.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a linebacker here and there, but they definitely gonna be tough to beat.
Because here's the thing about in playing, especially in the East, you can never have enough pass rushers.
Absolutely. We talked about that every year. Yeah. We and you got to have a good backup quarterback. And so Those things need to be in place.
Well, they got that in Cooper Rush, so that's not an issue.
Cooper Rush he played subpar teams last year.
Oh my goodness!
I'm telling you, they didn't play nobody when they didn't play nobody when he had to play.
He was 5-1.
I know what he was. I could have been 5-1, but I'm just telling you, Jim.
He played the New York Football Giants and beat them.
He didn't beat them.
He's better than Anthony.
They defense set him up. He didn't beat them.
He won.
So
he's better than Anthony Richardson.
I don't think so. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But we know this: the NFC East had a back-to-back division champion since 2004, 8, somewhere up and down. Long time, been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't be a shock to me that the Eagles don't get. The Eagles might be a wild card team.
Yeah.
And the Giants win the NFC East.
Yeah, it would be a shock to you because the Giants are not going to win the NFC East.
You don't know. I'm telling you.
You know.
They got one of the best coaches.
Yes, they do. But the ball is a heck of a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a veteran group in the NFC East right now. Obviously with McCartney, with Rivera, the Ball, and what's his name from Philly?
I forgot Nick something.
Sirianni.
Yeah.
Sirianni. And but I really think Philadelphia's issue is they had a huge transition on their coaching staff. And
they ain't gonna miss it. For real, I think Philadelphia gonna be tough. They're gonna be tough. They're gonna be tough again.
I think it's gonna be a little
because the interior line on the offense and defense side is solid. It's solid.
Mm-hmm. But I think they will because they just getting into the new and we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But 24 hours leading into the draft. I talked to Priest Holmes this week, and Sunday night before I played the golf tournament in San Antonio, he was going down Monday, and they got this big bus, double decker that they done remodeled, and they got this. I guess people gonna be walking through the bus going into the draft. That's according to Priest. So it's gonna be an exciting week, man. I tell you, lives gonna be changed. People gonna be excited tomorrow. They're gonna have these guys doing a special interview and
it's a special time. I didn't go to New York. I had it with some friends of mine. I was over their house in Arizona. But it is a special time, especially when you know that you're gonna be a high draft pick.
Yeah,
you know that you don't know where you're going, but you know you're going somewhere.
No, you're going. Yeah, you better have 4 or 5 hats right here, and hopefully you have the right one right there in front of you.
That's right. You're right about it, and that's the truth on it. Is that you better have the right one, but you don't know. I mean, here's on the week before the Cowboys called me. The same thing. Al Davis told me if I was there that he was going to take me. Kansas City called me, and then for whatever reason, they thought I was going to be there in the second round, and they were going to take me. Yeah, and I didn't. You just don't know.
You really don't know. You really don't know. That's one thing that draft is. It can be very surprising.
Mm-hmm. It is going to be some surprises. I do not think, and that's why with this draft, and you saw what Max Sports said. He's right. I do not think there is a player that's surefire in this draft that you're going to look back in 10 years and say this guy was I thought there were some in last year's draft, but at every position, there is not that guy. Even receivers, you remember receivers last year, there was some good receivers.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks, we got question marks on them. Offense, every position has question marks.
Yeah.
The best players are running back. And there's not emphasized in the NFL anymore.
Yeah, running backs have really took a dive. It's not a true value in that position like it was, 2 or 3, maybe 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a different.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That Robinson has probably the best chance of being the best player.
Yeah.
Carter has the best ability, and he's at a need position, but you don't know what you're going to get in Jalen Carter. You might get a guy that might be a consensus All-Pro.
Yeah.
But you also might get a guy that's going to be out of the league in 5 years, in less than 5 years. So,
that's why you're dealing with now with these younger players. I mean, you got a lot of areas where these guys are not quite mature-minded.
Exactly.
They easily influence, or they don't realize there's a responsibility that they have, that people are looking at you from way back in your 3rd grade to up to now, just to see what kind of character you have.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing I also look at with the NILs.
Yeah.
They're getting younger. They're getting more posses now, or groups around them, because they know that they're going to, obviously in certain places, they're going to have the Ferraris, they're going to have the expensive cars, they're going to have cash in their pocket. So what does that attract? It attracts some of those negative influences.
Bad influences. My nephew is over at Texas Tech, and one of the things that he had to deal with this year is 1099s. How much money he received coming in.
That's right. Yeah.
And these guys are used to paying taxes, but now they getting $100,000. I'm just saying that, throwing out that as an example. You got to pay taxes on that money.
Yes, you do. It is not free. And you have to pay a percentage of it, and unless you know how to deal with it. Because now, and I hate to say it, but mama wants her house.
Mama wants a house.
Dad wants that new car. I mean,
hey, look at the sacrifices we done made. Now, what you gonna do for me?
That's exactly right. You hate to say that, but that's the reality of it, right?
Yeah, and deep down inside, the young men want to do something for his parents.
Oh yeah, but
they really want to do something for his parents, but yet, it's pressure and then decision making. But this new NIL is a whole different animal.
Yeah.
They got to have some type of regulation on this, though.
And I was reading an article today, and on the University of Colorado, where Deion Sanders is the head coach. There were 48 kids that transferred out of there and went into what they call the portal.
Yeah.
Because he did say when he came in, he was honest. He said, I'm going to bring my own people. But still, 48 people that were on the team last year. And I know they weren't
transferred out of the University of Colorado.
Transferred out of the University of Colorado.
That's a lot of kids. That's a lot of kids.
Yeah. In the transfer portal, you're going to have a whole new team at the beginning of the season.
But they just go to show you that's how bad these colleges want to win. They want to go to the bowl game. They want to be in the top 10. I mean, things like that is what matters to them.
Yeah. And I don't have a problem with what he's doing, because he did tell the kids the truth. But what we've come to, are we becoming in college the NFL? If you mean, you can cut kids. And that's what makes me afraid with these NILs and some of the things that are going on in college, because we're losing. You and I went to college for an education.
Yeah.
Are they still going for the education? Because as you know, and you talked about, and I talk about, there's such a small percentage that get to play in the NFL.
And that's why
every day.
That's why you need to talk about how many jobs in the NFL. It's 2,000 jobs in the NFL.
That's my point.
And it's 400 and some jobs in the NBA. Yeah. And now you got these kids thinking that they're gonna be the next LeBron James or Michael.
That's right.
Michael Jordan. And realistically, it ain't gonna happen.
No. And how are they going? I love the NIL, but how are they going to survive? Because even if they make a couple $1 million, that is not going to take care of them for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Because what happens is just like we just said previously, people are always grabbing at it, and it takes away. They don't understand that's less money you have in your pocket to invest and things of that nature. I mean, people are always going to grab the great ones. Yes, there's going to be few great ones, but not everybody's going to get like Arch Manning, $13.1 million.
And plus, he come from a family of football. Football superstars. So
they understand it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a whole different type of case scenario in sports today. So, but I still say you got to have some type of regulation in place, some type of governing body, to make sure that this don't go crazy. And
some things, what scares me too, is in the NFL you have protections for the young men that are coming in, that certain people can obviously represent them.
Yeah.
But you don't have that protection in college. You're going to get a lot of street agents.
Yeah. And what I love about the NFL, they come in with all the rookies and first-year players, free agent, and they give you every case that you ever going to experience. Yep. And they come in throughout the year to make sure that you understand everything that your target. There's just certain things that you need to know, and they equip you with all that information.
Yeah, and you make a good point, because say if you're a young man and everybody knows that you're getting NIL money and quite a bit, because if you read about things that go on at University of Texas, they're driving Lamborghinis and Roses and stuff. Yeah. So think about this. What's the most popular place in Austin?
Sixth Street, down on 6th Street, yeah.
So you go into a bar and you walk in there and you're not bothering anybody, but some guy comes up to you and pushes you. What is your natural reaction?
You'll push him back.
So what does he tell people? You assaulted them.
Yeah.
So you see where I'm going? And the same thing.
Yeah.
It can happen with relationships with young women too. They can say, and now you're a target.
You're a target. I'm telling you, you're a target.
Yeah. So you're a target there, and these things are realistic.
And the first thing these young guys are gonna do, they're gonna go get the bling blings.
Yeah.
Get the watch.
You're right.
They're gonna let people know who they are.
Yeah. There was a story a couple of months ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. There was this rapper, and he was in Los Angeles, and he was talking about going to Roscoe's. He was putting it on his Instagram. 2 people robbed him there and killed him.
Yeah.
And he was with his family. And that same thing can happen to football players, because we all know that social media is so popular today. And it only takes one person to try to take your money or and he had all the jewelry on. And you see it every day in regular society. Imagine if they think they got somebody who they think has something, like you said, jewelry or some kind of money on them. And that's just the reality of it.
Yeah. We live in a different day and time. Things are just at the fingertip of everybody for his information. And, you just got to act accordingly, and you got to be very, very cautious of your surroundings and people that you tell stuff to.
Yeah, no question.
It's all, every day you see an example of something that's happened that, wow, it's give you that wow factor to say, wow.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
And especially if you're a high profile person, you have to know your surroundings and where you're at, because there's always somebody there these days that will want to take advantage of you.
And what's just like in my high school right now, we got this kid that's in the 9th grade. He played on the varsity. He had almost 700 yards as a true freshman.
I saw him.
And everybody's going down there to see this kid. He a phenom, right? And man, it's just like, you don't see this kind of talent, in the 9th grade, 8th grade. So they like, wow.
Yeah,
So
I remember at your camp.
yeah, he was at the camp. So what I'm saying is, I talked to the coach about it. And I said, how are you going to control this? How are you going to talk to his parents? And I think in the next year or two, right now, schools are trying to steal him from that school. They're trying to get him to come play at their school.
Yeah.
So they offering this guy kids money and deals and stuff in the 9th grade.
I know. It's incredible. That's the society and world we live in, which is unfortunate because you don't get to enjoy being a kid and enjoy.
Still a kid. Yeah, you're still young, 15 years old, and you get the possibility. You start with
adult problems.
Yeah. Just think you 15 in high school. I couldn't have handled like this kid can sign $1 million deal, with XYZ company, right? And Penn State and all these schools are already offering. University of Arkansas told this kid all kind of stuff already.
Yeah. And I remember Friday Night Lights
and
the guy named Boobie Clark. You remember him?
Yeah.
And he's had a tough life because everybody told him how, and that wasn't about money, but everybody told him how great he was going to be the next big thing. And you're one, and that's what I always say about this. You're one injury away from.
One injury. Just
your perspective on life. And that's, as both as professional athletes, we know that we see it all the time. And in your role as the head of the retired place, you saw it. I mean, you see it. Where guys were great at their profession, but something happened. It might have been substance abuse. It might have been, who knows what it was.
Yeah.
Might have been injury.
Right.
That derailed them. And
I tell you another thing that a lot of these young men, young athletes don't get right now is their friends, their buddies. Some people that you got to let go.
No question.
And it's kind of like, you still thinking this is your boy, but it's not your boy that you can take to the next level with you because
that's true.
He still got these bad habits. He's still, slanging or smoking and,
You're right.
It's things that you have to make good decisions on to see if you're going to be where you're going to be in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now.
Exactly right. You're exactly right because you go through phases in your life.
Yeah.
And some people that were in a different season in your life don't belong in that season. And that's what happens. Well, they my guys. They've been with me through when I didn't have anything.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm watching a series on Tupac, and that's really what happened to him.
Yeah.
And like you said, that some guys he probably should have separated himself from.
Yeah.
So,
but and you can see this all the time. It's some very talented young people, skillful.
Yes.
And it's something about them when they walk in the room. Everybody's attracted to them. But man, if you still don't make that right decision or connection,
because it's easy to jeopardize your career, your livelihood, and you see it all the time. We read about it in the paper.
Yeah.
So the people that we talk about the NFL draft, that's just a small part of it,
right?
Because you got to go into now. Everybody's going to know about you, even if you're a 7th-round pick, even if you're the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, the last guy picked.
He was
the 256th player taken in the draft.
Whatever
that was.
There you go. I mean, that's just and I mean, it's not. You think it'd be easy? No matter where you go, people gonna know you.
They're gonna know you. They're gonna know you.
There, you walk anywhere, they're gonna know you and say, "Hey, are you?" Okay, I still get it. This guy when I was golfing over at the Cowboys thing last week, and there was a caddy there. He said, "Hey, man, can't you slip me 100?"
But you
stuff like that.
Yeah. And the good thing about going to play at the Cowboys golf course, They got y'all names on the golf court. Do you ever try to get y'all on the golf court with your name on?
The guy that was riding with me, he had my golf course.
Oh, he did? Oh, okay.
He had it.
Because it's so many names on the golf course. I was wondering, have you ever gotten your name?
I have gotten it, but I didn't get it that day. He was in my group.
Okay. Yeah, we got to get
mine. Just says, they have the numbers, but mine says D Jim Jeffcoat.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you when we invite Matt down here to Dallas. We want you to get your golf court.
Okay.
But me and Matt can ride around, and we'll get maybe see you Lamb or somebody like that, and we're gonna go out and beat you. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm pretty good now. I'm playing pretty good.
Well, you ought to be playing pretty good. You practice enough.
I do practice a lot, so I'm really hitting it now.
Man, he playing behind our back.
I am too. Yeah. But I do enjoy going out there hitting. So,
well, that's what it's all about, enjoying yourself. Say preach, Byron.
I just wanted to make sure Mac was still awake. I wanted to make sure he was still awake.
Well, Matt had a haircut, had a shave.
Oh yeah, he's got it.
I didn't know who he was last week. I didn't know who he was. So. But we did have a good interview. We were talking about Bill Parcells, and I was talking about some special moments with him. Did you interview him Did you talk about Bill Parcells?
Yes, I did. I'm not a Parcells fan.
No, man.
My special moments were running touchdowns and sacking Phil Simms. And he didn't like those special moments.
Well, my special moment was we turned the ship around with the Giants and we started winning games.
You did turn the ship around.
And we started.
I can't argue there.
Yeah, we started.
When I was a kid, the Giants were pretty bad.
In my rookie year, I went in the middle of the season. The fans had sacks over their heads.
Oh shit!
I said, "What in the world going on?" And then the next year, Parcells said,
I had a defense.
I'm sending all these injured players home. We're going to we turn over a new leaf. And man, everybody, we started winning the games.
Started seeing people without sacks on there.
They threw the sacks away. They had a sack burning the affair out there at the parking lot.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to interview Jim Burt.
Hey, tell Jim Burt I said hello. Number 64, Jim Burt.
Mm-hmm. Jim Burt, yeah. They actually inducted Leonard Marshall to the Ring of Honor.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
I played golf with Dalton Hilliard a couple of weeks ago, and he said when he first got down to LSU, Leonard Marshall was a senior. He was a freshman, and he told Leonard Marshall, "Well, how Leonard is. Went out there with his chest out. Don't nobody mess with Dalton Hilliard. I'm protecting him." And Dalton said, "Man," he said, "that was the best thing that ever happened." He said, "From that point on, he became so confident in playing football." And that's a story that I like to hear. When a freshman came in, a veteran like Leonard Marshall said, "This is my guy." That's
I
what
had that
want.
at Arizona State.
Yeah,
they knew I could play. And Marvin, actually, our group was good. Our freshman and sophomore group was really good. And the upperclassmen kind of really took care of us because they were transitioning from the Western Athletic Conference to the Pac-12.
Right.
And the upperclassmen knew they weren't talented enough to play in the Pac-12. We were the future of Arizona State football. So, yeah.
That's good. I mean, and that's one of the best things. Like, McConkey is one of the intense guys. Yeah, Bill McConkey, yeah, he was, man. He was always a heartbeat, but we had a good group of wide receivers. We all did something special. I never forget that we had an article called Parcells Fabulous Five. And I was like the fast guy. And McConkey was like the, punt returner, shifty guy, going inside, slot, blah, blah, blah. And it was Parcells Fabulous Five, man. So
y'all played hard. I got to give you credit. Y'all did hard.
Yeah.
I have to say that.
Yeah, it's good to talk. I saw Lionel Manuel at the Super Bowl out in Arizona. He was out there.
Yeah.
And I talked to Bobby Johnson, and every night I talked to Ernest Gray, and Stacy Robertson. He was a North Dakota kid. Yeah, he passed away. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Stacy, I think he died about 5 years ago. Passed away. Yeah.
Wow.
So
The one thing about these guys that are going into the NFL in the next couple of days, I would tell them to go in the locker room, keep your mouth shut, and just work. Let your efforts and your habits take care of everything else, and people will respect you. Don't go in there like you own it. And there's kids that do that. They go in there like they got the team made.
Hey, I will tell go in there when they have rookie night. Just go ahead and let them throw the eggs on you.
Yep.
Go ahead and sing.
Yep.
And just be the first in the meeting.
Yep.
And if a veteran tell you to bring something, go get it.
Bring it. No, it's not that big of a deal because you were being that. I didn't really get hazed because I had Randy White, like you said, with Leonard Marshall, and nobody was going to mess with Randy White. If he said leave me alone, it was done, and that was it. There was no.
Hey, guess what I did? Guess what I did? On talent night, they asked me to sing. I can't sing. So I sung, "You got to know where in the hole know when to fall." They moved me off the stage.
Yeah, I sang that. They were having issues with the at that time with the players and some of the things that were going on. So I said the FBI is coming to town because we had hired a former FBI agent named Larry Wansley.
Right.
So you better not shout. You better not because the FBI is coming to town. It got real quiet in there.
Oh yeah, they were I bet they said this is a smart little rookie here.
Yeah, but I never had any hard time. They liked me, and they knew I was going to work. And like you said, I was going to show I was going to be the first one there and the last one to leave.
Yeah.
And those things, but
it was some stories that I can't say on the air, but I think
no question, it
was some funny stories for some of the guys. Though it's always good to be a veteran. See them rookies.
I saw a punter. I don't know why a punter would mess with guys. They tied him up and taped him up, and he was out there almost all night.
Yeah, I've seen that before too.
Yeah. I couldn't understand why would you mess with some of these guys.
You learn your lesson quick.
Yeah, no question. Just like flow. It's not that big of a deal because you'll be in that position someday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of the best things that ever happened to me, I got a chance to drive Lance Taylor 911 Porsche.
Oh man.
So he like me. If you let him drive your 911,
wash, huh? He made you go.
I brought it back clean.
I knew that's what it is. Yeah. I knew that's what was going on.
Yeah.
I never had to do it. That singing was the only thing I ever had to do.
The singing,
and that was it. I never had any other things.
Well, I couldn't sing, so they didn't ask me to sing up one time. Yeah. I was one and done.
One and done, huh? Yeah. And they had the issues with first rounders before, and I guess Ernie Stockman, who was the D-line coach, said this one will be all right. Don't mess with him. So I was blessed. I was blessed because I walked in the room with Ed Too Tall Jones, Harvey Martin, Randy White, Ron Springs, Tony Dorsett. I mean, I walked in Drew Pearson, and Drew Pearson is from my area in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
We didn't know each other, but I knew his relatives were born, lived in the same town as I did. So that too, having Drew there. And
hey, you gonna come out there SMU Saturday morning? We got the curing kids cancer.
Yeah,
we're gonna pull the fire truck.
Yes,
50 yards, and me and you gonna be the head coach. That's all. We just gonna be standing up there.
All right, there you go. We're gonna get some of these young dudes to do it.
I was like, y'all pull. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we want to raise some money for some kids and
okay.
Kids.
What time?
It's I think we have to be there at 9 before 9:30.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it's a 10 o'clock start at SMU.
Okay.
SMU.
Okay.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what time it is. It's the end of the show and everything. And I mean, it was a great show.
We're gonna be on draft. We're gonna be on tomorrow for draft night, right?
Yes. And I want to wish everybody who has the opportunity to draft all the draft picks and even the free agents, I wish them good luck and hope they have long and prosperous careers.
Let's go, Giants. Let's go.
Let's go, Cowboys. Let's win this today. Let's win the East. Let's get in the playoffs and win more than one game.
Kansas City, here we come.
All right. Have a good evening.